Hey everyone, welcome to another My Life in Objects. So, a series I picked up on the other day for the first time, wasn't aware of this series, is this genre series. So, although people might not necessarily be familiar with this series, they may well be familiar with the 33 and a third series, which has been around for quite a while. So with the 33 and a third series, each of the books is based on an album, and it goes through and breaks down the album in some way, and they're all different authors. And we've got a couple in the house. I bought my wife a couple of the 33 and a third album series for her like favourite albums, and it is quite a nice gift in that respect. You know, if you've got someone that is a real big fan of a certain album, then try and track down the particular book for that album. So I was really curious when I saw these online, and I'm unsure about how I first became aware of this. It was probably when I was doing a bit of research on genres, and I noticed in addition to this one, which is the first one I bought, which was the death metal one, they've got a trip hop one. And it's not on here, but I think they also have a shoegaze one, which would be the ones that I'd be most interested in, I think, beyond this one. But I thought it'd be a good opportunity with this. Even if you weren't into this particular genre, I suspect that the layout's the same for most of the book, even though it's a different author. And what's nice about this is it sort of takes you through a musical journey on here. So and you'll notice this is devoid of album covers, which for me isn't really a problem, because I'm pretty familiar with certain album covers here. But it was nice to have a book where you can sort of go through, and in my case, sort of re-listen to a lot of albums, whilst reading through the some of the narrative, I suppose, in here. And there's the nice thing as well, the way the author's written this one, is there's lots of references in here to, or there are references to, popular culture outside of the genre. So this one we probably start off with 7 Churches. Now, within this, you'll get further albums that are recommended, but the main albums are sort of highlighted in here. So yeah, Screaming Bloody Gore. If you're familiar with the with death metal as a genre, you'll probably be aware of these albums. Scum, Reek of Putrefaction. So we've got a couple of Carcass albums there. Reign of Chaos, which would be oh dear me, I'm trying to think of the name of the band now. Bolt Thrower, that's it. Severed Survival, is that Autopsy, I think. Something like that. Yeah, Autopsy. A bit about Morris Sound Studio, which is pretty famous for the scene. We've got Altars of Madness by Morbid Angel. Slowly We Rock by Obituary. Deicide debut, in Back to Life, that would be Cannibal Corpse. Harmony Corruption, Napalm Death album, where there's been quite a major change to the lineup. And it's funny, the Scum album is 2 different bands essentially, with the common denominator, I think, being the drummer on the 2 sides of the album. And then by the time they get to Harmony Corruption, different vocalists, different guitarists, 2 guitarists come in, same bass player as the B-side of Scum, and same drummer. There's 2 albums before this, so Scum and From Enslavement to Obliteration. And then as we move on, we're moving more through, so I suppose, technical death. So there's quite a number of actual death albums in here. That's the band, because over time they influenced an awful lot of subgenres as well. So we've got Individual Thought Patterns. And the third Carcass album, Heartwork, that's another band that have been influential on many subgenres. Focus, which would be, what's the band? Cynic, that's it. Also have a connection to death as well, because members played on, what was it, Human. Orchid by Opeth. Slaughter the Soul by At the Gates. Swan Song, another Carcass album. There's quite a lot of Carcass here actually. New Frontiers, Sound of Perseverance, another Death album. Blackwater Park, another Opeth album. In the Darkened Shrines, that'd be Nile. Genesis, so what is this? Job for a Cowboy. That's a band that I haven't really listened to. Or Carniflex. The Cleansing, I saw them. I saw Suicide Silence Live in Brighton in the end of the 2000s, I think. Actually, some sort of tour. Yeah. That's probably this later stuff I've not really listened to that much. And then you'll find that, although there might not be a specific album mentioned, I think I'd said this before, you might find that there's further album checks down here, as in the course of the discussion. Stuff you can sort of check out as a side quest. Venom Prison. Now I have a Venom Prison album, but not Animus. Don't think. Have I got the one after it? Yeah. I think I might have the album after that. It was a Christmas present from my wife. Or a birthday present. I can remember one of the two. Hidden History of the Human Race. Now that would be Blood Incantation. I have one of their albums. Actually, probably, what was it, last year's? 2024. What's that? Absolute Elsewhere? I think that's by them. Yeah, Absolute Elsewhere. Visitations from Enceladus. Wow. And what's it? Cryptic? Is that Cryptic Shift? Unexpected Reality. What's that? Is that Gate Creeper? Another band I listen. Yeah, so this stuff is stuff I haven't got around to listening to. A bit behind the times sometimes with this stuff. Nightmare of Being. So is this the Gates? 7th record, so yeah, Gates, well. And it looks like we've sort of got a closing off chapter there. I'm still sort of working my way through this, listening as I go. I was curious as to whether they did put a... Okay, so yeah, it's 10 essential tracks at the end here. I was wondering if there was a playlist, because... Yeah, so we've got 10 essential tracks. But they don't reproduce the album listing here. I'm trying to work out where I got to. Let me just put it in there. Okay, hopefully that was it. Interesting if you've been curious about this book. Certainly so far, it's been an enjoyable read for me. And it's a nice one to sort of, I find, to listen along, read, and then do a bit of a deeper dive into this. In fact, I think I probably got a bit further in and then went backwards. Yeah. Thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.